up, y'all? It's Candy Girl giving my 2 cents on this new series called This Is Us. Y'all, when I tell you this is the cutest show ever, This Is Us is following the life stories of this set of triplets. Um, the triplets actually is really like a set of twins and then an adopted child. And one of the interesting dynamics about this adoption is this is a white family and they are adopting a black child. So off the rip, you know they are about to cut into some deep shit because it's going to be about how does this little black boy fit into their bigger picture, and then how is he identifying with the rest of the world? Is it really a big deal to adopt a child into a family with his same cultural background and ancestry? Or is it just a person is a person and they will be fine regardless of their parents being black or white? It's about having the best fit and the people who will really love that child and nurture them. So right off rip, you know that it's about to be deep, right? But each and every one of these characters have their own storylines that really make you think about some stuff. And you can identify with at least one or two issues within this entire series in at least the first season. And we know that there's going to be a lot more stuff going on. So, the mom and dad, otherwise known as Rebecca and Jack, they are like the most perfect couple. Come to find out, as soon as Jack dies, she fucking his best friend. So let's keep that all the way 100 and just admit the fact that relationships are great and you can love that person, but they can still do some really fucked up shit. Like start hooking up with your best friend after you die. So I'm interested in seeing how that whole thing came about, because clearly I will be turning over in my grave, raising up like the Walking Dead and killing both of them, and then going back on my grave and being like, I don't even know what happened. So, so let's talk about Randall, aka the black one, because I know y'all that's what y'all be doing. Um, hardly know people's names, but you can describe them. And with Randall, he's the black one. So anyway, it was really refreshing to see this kind of dynamic because I can identify with some of the things that Randall was going through. In particular, he grew up in a predominantly white community and he went to a predominantly white school. So he didn't really fit in with the rest of the kids. And you could tell that because when they had this little birthday party where all three of the triplets had their own little birthday party, and he didn't even invite anybody. I think he invited 3 people and they ditched him for the other parties. And he was just like, it's cool. Those people are not my friends. I don't click with those people. You know that he is leaps and bounds of beyond people who are in their 30s and 40s, because if you can find one friend in this world, you've done very well. It's hard to come by real friends. So for him to come around and be 10 years old talking about they're not my friends, you know, it's all about the fam. I was like, okay, I like this guy. And he's going to grow up to be a very mature young man. Well, let's talk about when he gets older. He tries to find his biological father, ends up finding him, and realizes that this man is sort of kind of like a nut job, and he would talk about drugs and stuff in front of his grandkids, and they was like, okay, this is not cool. And you know, he was just kind of like not properly socialized to be a family man because he didn't have any kids. He gave his kid away. So he comes into their home, he lives with them, and I think he was homeless or something like that, and that's the reason why he came to live with Randall. But anyway, they find out that he has like stage 4 cancer. I don't remember what kind of cancer it was, but it really don't matter because it was stage 4 and he's dying. So the point is that all of a sudden Randall's dad is just like, let's do this, let's do that. I gotta spend time with y'all. I ain't got much time left. Remember, I'm finna die. Remember, I'm about to die. Remember my cancer. He need to calm down. But at the same time, I understand. Another like, interesting twist was that Randall's daddy was actually gay. And I don't want to say gay. Let's say bisexual, in that he likes what he likes when he likes it. Came out to Randall or whatever. And Randall was cool about it. He met the guy. He was cool about it, and I love that. You know, be supportive, accept people for who they are, and your sexuality does not determine who you are as a person, how you're going to treat the rest of the world, and what you deserve as a human being. All right, so let's talk about Kate. Kate, I really, she really touched me in a special way because she is trying to lose weight, and she was like in a eating disorder or like obesity support group or whatever, and she met him through that support group because he was like the support group leader. So yeah, they're cute. But here's the thing, like, he's kind of corny and immature, and that kind of gets on my nerves. It just seemed like he was trying to exude this confidence or something that he didn't really have, and like portray this persona that he really was not. And so it was just like watching him is just painful. I just can't. I just can't, y'all, with him. She then says that she wants to lose weight. She's gonna go and get a bariatric surgery. When she's in the office, she realizes, you know what? I ain't really feeling this. I don't think I want to do this whole surgery situation. Let me go on and choose something else. So she said, the doctor said, have you tried an immersive surgery or an immersive um, weight loss treatment program, something like that? She was like, a fat camp. And they're like, no, it's a little bit different. We're gonna put you in a supportive environment that's really gonna work on the whole person. So when she gets there, she realizes that this is not like The Biggest Loser, where they doing a whole bunch of laps and sweating hard and eating ice soup and stuff. They were like really doing the work, as Iyanla Vanzant says. I love that. I know I'm overweight and I've always been overweight. And the thing is that it's not that I just eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it. It's more of an emotional eating. It's a comforting kind of mechanism. It's a coping mechanism that some people use in order to deal with things in an indirect way and kind of pacify themselves. I've always had an oral fixation. When I was a baby, I sucked my thumb. I sucked my thumb till I was like 5 or 6 years old. And so I've always kind of like needed something to put in my, oh, that sounds so nasty. But I needed something to put in my mouth to satiate myself. Do not come in my comments talking about what else I can put in my mouth, okay? Don't even try it. So, interesting little fact. Clearly, she's, in a weight loss journey on the show. So, the real life actress, I forgot what her name is, but let's just call her the real Kate. She actually had it in her contract that she has to lose weight as a part of her contract because of the storyline. If they would have said, in order for you to get cast in this period, the baseline, just the normal aesthetic for this particular character looks like this. So you need to like look better and lose 50 pounds or whatever. That would not be cool with me. But if they said part of the storyline is this morbidly obese woman, finding herself and also improving herself physically, mentally, emotionally, you know, that's different. So I feel her, go ahead and get that money, girl. Shoot, I ain't mad at you. Last person is Kevin. Kevin is the fine actor, the Manny or whatever. And, he was moderately successful because people on the street know who he is. And there was a moment on TV where he just kind of lost it and walked off the set and never came back. And the whole thing was that, he's very attractive, but he was starting to be resentful of the fact that he is so attractive because people were only paying attention to his body. They would never really listen to the words that was coming out of his mouth, and they just didn't take him seriously as an entertainer. And so I feel him for that. And so he just kind of wanted to just drop what he was doing over there, go after his dreams on Broadway. He gets out there, he gets into this love triangle, ends up leaving both of the women and going back to his ex wife. Typical dick move because backstory on his marriage, he has been in love with her since the fourth grade, or something like that. His 10th birthday party, she was at his 10th birthday party. And he just like loves the fuck out of her. The problem that I have with this particular guy is he cheated on her, and then they got a divorce. And now, after he goes all around the world getting hoes in different area codes, all of a sudden he wants to come back to her. And it's just like, heck, like, you cannot sit here and play around with my heart, then go out and get all the pussy you want, and then come back here and expect it to be okay. Like, no, swerve and miss me with all of that. I'm moving on. I get that. I'm so cool with that. But then at the same time, if you with the same person since the fourth grade, you've only been with one woman ever in your life, like, that ain't gonna work either. So I kind of get how infidelity might come up in a relationship like that, because you want to explore other options and explore other people and just live life and say that you've done everything that you wanted to do, including come close to herpes, chlamydia, and gonorrhea. Whatever you want to do with your little peen is your business. And I feel like he never had that opportunity, and so here it is that, it caused a rift in their relationship. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this series, what you think is gonna happen, your feelings on some of the dynamics that's going on. If I miss anything, let me know. Love y'all. Until next time, love and blessings.